deposits will be that all new club accounts collecting money can request a club agency account by contacting the OSI front desk email, which is listed right here. So you could go ahead and take note of that. And this account will be seen on your club's Cat Life page under the Finance tab in your admin dashboard. And if your club receives funding from associate students, that funding will be in a separate account on your Finance tab. So when you open up your Finance tab on Cat Life, you should be able to see whether it's coming from your club funds or it's going to be coming from ASUCM. As for club deposits, when you're depositing any like cash or checks into your club account, you want to bring the deposit to the OSI front desk staff, and a ServiceNow ticket will be submitted to the cashier's office.
Stacy, we're not seeing the slides change.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me give 1 second. Must be a glitch. Can you guys see it now?
It's still on the main page.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Slide 1.
Slide 1.
There we go. Club deposits, I'm seeing.
Okay. Okay, let me make sure that this is a glitch. Let me just check my work really quick. Let me just go back and just review. We were just missing a few slides. So yeah, we're just going to start back on club account. So yeah, this is the OSI front desk email. Can everyone see this now that I moved it back, Katrina?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so this is the OSI front desk email. So if you want to request for a club agency account, you want to go ahead and just email this, our front desk account. And this account will be seen on your club's Cat Life page under your Finance tab. And as mentioned before, if your club did receive your fundings from associate students, you will be able to find that also under your Finance tab. So a little bit what I've just covered a little bit while ago is when you're depositing cash or checks into your club account, you want to bring that deposit to the OSI front desk staff, and a ServiceNow ticket will be submitted to the cashier's office. And all checks or deposits must be payable to the UC regions when you're making that check. And then after depositing the funds, the cashier will give you a receipt for your records, and then they will also email us that receipt so we could keep that in your club file. So when handling cash, you must have 2 people present. So you should be like a staff and one of your treasurer or your VP of finance. And each group should have one designated person responsible for handling those cash and checks. Whenever possible, be prepared to give receipts for any cash received and deposit cash and checks by 4 p.m. of the day to collect. Before the day to collect or the next business day, as this will be more consistent for all of us to make sure that everything's being processed right before the end of the business day. And then to keep funds in a lock protected cash box until you are able to make a deposit. And clubs collecting a large amount of dues can do so by online payment through the cashier's office. And also, if you have any questions, you can always come into our office about this, and we could definitely help you with that as well. So club funds versus ASUCM funds. So you might be wondering, what is the difference between both of them? So when ASUCM awards your club funds to the ASUCM budget proposal process, or the Senator bill, or the small appropriations board, those funds do not go into your club accounts. So that's why there was 2 different, there'll be 2 different forms or tabs for one, which is club's funds, or your ASUCM funds on your Finance tab. And the funds will be spent out of ASUCM's account on your club's behalf. And if your club does not use all the funds that have been awarded, the funds will go back into the ASUCM general fund. So as for spending club funds, you must follow the OSI's purchasing timeline to ensure your expenditure request can be processed in time for your event. And before any expenditure request can be submitted for an event notification must be submitted into Cat Life and also be approved by one of our interns as well. And this is the OSI purchasing timeline. You can find this on our Office of Student Involvement UC Merced website under the Business Resources, Business Center Resources tab. And this is just a breakdown of each and every one of the categories and type of purchases and when you should be putting them in to be processed, and who you should be contacting for each of these sections as well, whether it's Connie or Katrina. As for a purchase order is a means the university uses to order supplies or services through an accounts payable system, and approved vendors receive a specific number of purchase order, which is a promise to pay the vendor within 60 days from the expenditure date that you submitted it. And if you receive a quote or estimate from the vendor attached to the expenditure request, And then after the items are purchased, the vendor will either give you an invoice or the bill to the university directly. And if your event involves food, please submit a flyer such agenda and an attendee list for that event as well. And this is going to be the list of authorized vendors as well. This will be under the Business Center Resources tab on the Office of Student Involvement website. So the university logo is trademarked and cannot be used by any third-party vendors unless authorized by the UC. And also we have attached a list right here of the UC authorized vendors that can also process this type of request for you. And if you try to use a UC logo for any other third-party vendors that are not authorized for it, they won't process your order. It's probably because it isn't approved through UC Merced. So feel free to reference back to this vendor list on our Business Center Resources section on our website. So authorizing new vendors, if the vendor was not an existing vendor in the system, you can submit the new vendor request form, which is a procurement new vendor setup form that we have on Microsoft Forms. And it's up to the vendors as speaker to fill out the proper paperwork and get it done in a timely manner for processing. So as we process all that as well, and we send the request to your vendor or your speaker or your and the person's coming to perform at your event, you have to also remind them to complete this stuff, because we can remind them as well, but they must complete that processing in order for us to continue on and complete that paperwork for the new vendor setup. As for the declining balance card, OSI does have a declining credit card available for students to check out for purchases in town for stores that do not accept a purchase order. So any stores that you need to buy, such as like from the Dollar Tree, it's a really common one, or like from from Costco or like Food Max, things like that. And its declining credit card expenditure request must be submitted in Cat Life, then arrange an appointment with OSI for pickup. This is really important to also keep updated about your list of e-board members on your admin tab, just so we know who to contact for this information as well. And we'll be sending you guys an email every time we get a declining balance card request to the person who submitted it. And students will sign a responsibility agreement and will need to return the card and all receipts by the next business day. And these cards are on a first come, first served basis. So the office only has as many as we have on hand. And to always remember to plan accordingly and allow yourself enough time to make purchases. And this could be referred back to the timeline that we also mentioned earlier as well, to just reference that and make sure that you're planning accordingly to when your event is and when you need a declining balance card. So as for travels, hotel arrangements, you want to make a reservation with the hotel of your choice and hold it with your personal credit card. And then ask for an electronic copy of the hotel reservation, and ask the hotel for a credit card authorization form for the UC to pay for the room and taxes only. So the personal credit card will stay on file for its incidentals, such as if you were to use one of their water bottles and they charge you that as well, or any snacks that you take in the room, or any damages you made to the room. That is why we have your card on file for that, those incidental purposes. And provide a list of the student room assignments using the student group lodging form that we have here, and attach all 3 items to the Cat Life expenditure request when you do make the hotel arrangements. And before leaving the hotel, ask the front desk for a copy of the portfolio or the bill for that arrangement. As for air travel, allow at least 5 weeks to make arrangements and to submit a travel expenditure request in Cat Life. Be sure to fill out a flight request form for each person traveling. So flights purchased with personal friends can be reimbursed. However, we cannot reimburse for travel package deals. So all segments, flight, hotel, rental car, must have tax breakdown to be reimbursed. So you can't use like Expedia and do a hotel and flight deal, because we won't be able to reimburse you for that. And all travelers will sign documentation that cancellations are to be reimbursed by the traveler. As for rental vehicles, students must be approved to rent a vehicle through campus. And to get approved, you will fill out the DMV hold notice form and bring to the OSI Business Center along with your driver's license. The process takes several days to complete, so make sure to plan ahead on any members that will be the one driving the rental vehicle. And to also save all gas receipts to submit for reimbursement, as we do reimburse you guys for mileage as well. So reimbursable travel expenses. So if a purchase order cannot be used, hotel accommodations as well as meals are out of pocket and must be reimbursed after travel. And that's why the sponsor guest form must be submitted with your request to be reimbursed for that your travel expenses. And you also must bring in the hotel bill, the portfolio with the $0 balance, showing you paid the hotel. If there was any incidentals were to happen, you could have paid that off by then. And submit a travel reimbursement in Cat Life and attach all justification for the trip. So for example, if you travel to a conference, you must have an agenda from the conference of like if you attended it and what the conference was about. And then travelers using their own vehicle will be reimbursed for mileage, but not gas. And the current rate is 52 cents per mile. And so please print out a mileage calculator backup, such as Google Maps, to verify your miles driven. So say if you were to drive from here to like UC Davis, you would just kind of show us the Google Maps of how long mileage that is and submit that into Cat Life as well. So meals are only reimbursed if travel includes an overnight stay. So submit original itemized receipts and then we'll process that reimbursement for you. And also alcohol is not considered part of a meal and will not be reimbursed. And this is going to be the sponsored guest form that we have, and you'll fill out the highlighted portions. And we will also, all the interns as well for the business center will remind you as well, and to also sign the bottom for this sponsored guest form. As for interdepartment recharges, this is the list of the approved recharge units. So several departments on campus have been approved to be recharge units. Currently, they include catering, such as dining services here on campus, facilities, transportation and parking services, so TAPS, the mail and copy services, the police and public safety, recreation, the cat cart office. So you can go ahead and attach a copy of the quote or email verifying the items ordered to the Cat Life expenditure request. And departments issuing the recharge will ask OSI for your club's COA, which is your club account number, and to verify their funds are available in order to continue processing that charge. As for performer, speakers, and facility use agreements, complete a speaker or performer expenditure request in Cat Life and be sure and attach the preliminary information form along with the resume, event flyer, and invoice from the speaker and or / performer for that event. And you want to go ahead and plan as the contract takes time to complete and get signatures from both parties, such as the speaker and from our end as well. And we need the packet submitted at least 4 weeks prior to the performance date. And if you're renting a facility, provide the contract, but do not sign anything yet. This is really important to at least submit it 4 weeks prior to the performance date, because then it allows time for both everyone to complete it and to make sure that everything is on track and ready for your event. It'll just allow for more of a smoother track for your event as well, so you're not rushed during your event for the performance and the speakers. So how to create an expenditure request on Cat Live. So we were been talking about expenditures a lot. So we're going to go ahead and show you how this will look like on your admin dashboard when you log into Cat Live. So start off, this is going to be your dashboard, and you're going to go ahead and go to the finance tab on the left and click on that. And from there, it should take you to a bigger page. And on the right-hand corner, it should say create. And you're going to go ahead and click on the expenditure request right here as indicated by the arrow. And then the next tab we're going to have is this form is going to pop up and it's going to create an expenditure form. So as you can see here, this is what type of transactions will be. So purchase orders, procurement card, some kind of balance cards, and anything that was mentioned in this slide so far. And you just fill out this form accordingly to what you need. And if anything, you ever need help with this or how to like enter information correctly, you can go ahead and send us an email by the OSI front desk at ucmarshall.edu or also come into our office as well. So yeah, here's just the breakdown of that and when the items you'll need, the events, the items you need by the event time. But that's pretty much it for our presentation today. If you have any questions, my supervisor, Katrina Parr-Bendis, is on the chat as well. So you could go ahead and put that in the chat or privately message her if anything as well. And I'm going to go ahead and stop share so that I can show you guys the registration link for this training.